Okay, welcome to Rges Pre-Algebra. This is Lesson 22A, and we're discussing Section 5.2. We're talking about scientific numbers. Now, recall from last time we looked at very large numbers, and when we take a very large number, and we're going to write it in scientific notation, we're going to look at all the number part until we start hitting trailing zeros, and we're going to put the decimal always after the first digit. So this will become 2.079, and now we're going to count up the total number of digits that we've moved, to the left, okay, from where the number starts. So this total number is 367, and that's where we get 10 to the 7th. Now, if we're going in reverse, we're going to move if this is positive, we're going to move our decimal point to the right because it represents a large number. So we're going to write all the digits we see in the number portion, 3104. I'm going to notice that I've already moved my decimal point over 3 places, and now I need to go 9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 zeros. Putting in commas, we got 100,000, million, billion, trillion, 3,104 billion. Okay. Now this time, we're going to be looking at small numbers. The process is pretty much the same way, except now we're going to use negative exponents, which represent very small numbers. So let me give you a couple examples. Let's look at these 3 examples. First off, I'm ignoring now on very small numbers all the preceding zeros. So I care about this, and this, even though it has a 0 in it, as my number portion. I will write the number portion the same way as before. I will always insert the decimal point after the very first digit. 4.8, 5 point. Okay, we don't really need the point, but I'm putting it there. And 3.09. And we will always have 10 to the some power. And this power will always be negative if it's going to represent a very small number. Now, how many places did I move my decimal point here? 5 places, so this will be to the -5th. We're moving it to here, sorry. 3, 6, 7, 8. Did I do that right? 3, 6, 7, 8 to the -8th power, and moving it over here, I moved it to here. So this will be 3.0 times 8. You get a 4 power. So the first thing to pay close attention to is that when we had a positive exponent, we were representing large numbers, and when we have a negative exponent, we're representing very small numbers. Other than that, the system is the same. So now what if we were to go in reverse? If I said 2.409 times 10 to the -5th, or 3.8 times 10 to the -12th, how would I do those? Well, first thing I would do is write the number with all these digits, 2409, and now I'm making a very small number. I've moved my decimal point now. To make a small number, I want to go this way 5 places. The 2 counts as the first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I would write 3 and the 8. My decimal point was here, and I need to move it over to make a very small number 12 times. The 3 counts as the first. I need 11 more zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, running out of room. And that's what we have. And of course, that would be a very hard number to read. Most people don't, bother, I don't think. But what we are going to recognize is that this -12 and this -5 attached to the number part is going to represent a very small number. Okay, that should be able to get you through. Let's take a look if there's anything else. So this is the only skill we're working on right now, is being able to go back and forth, scientific notation to a large number and scientific notation to a very small number. This sharpening skills will also include 5 word problems. Go ahead and try to think those through as clearly as you can. Remember our 4 steps. You identify the variables. You write yourself an equation that makes sense to you. You solve the equation, and then you interpret the result, which if it just says what is the number, you have nothing to interpret. But if it asks you how old is Billy, of course, or how old is his sister, then you have something to interpret. So always remember those 4 steps. Do the best you can, and we'll talk about any confusion when you get back to class.